We'll go ahead and start the Ford County Commission meeting. This is meeting 2024-34. And we have two of the commissioners in attendance, so we have a majority. And we will start off with a prayer from Ada Bogart of Fort Dodge Chapel.
Father, I come to you now thanking you for this beautiful day and for the moisture that you blessed us with. And Lord, I thank you for the dedicated men and women that give of their time to help run the county. I ask you to give them continued guidance and wisdom. I ask you to provide the monies that are needed to run this county. And we just thank you that we live in a land of the free, and Lord, that are a home of the brave. And we give you praise and glory in Jesus' name.
Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, in front of us is the consent agenda, which has approval of meeting minutes for 2024-32, 2024-33, and the credit card statements.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that. With motion second, any further discussion on it? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Up next is approval for claims for payment. This amount of $487,887.37.
Make a motion that we approve the claims for payment as presented.
I'll second that, and I'll go ahead and call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. This is the point of the meeting where we have open public comment. If anybody would like to come forward and actually address the commission or talk to us about anything, please give it 5 minutes per individual and 15 minutes per topic. Final action may be deferred until the next county commission meeting unless it's an emergency. But feel free to come on up for the microphone if you want to talk to us about anything. Welcome.
Brenda Fry, Fort County. I received from them some information that the Martin County, Russell County, and Pawnee County have grouped together to address the DOE and the NIETC, which is the National Interest Electric Transmission Corridor, the proposed 5-mile corridor. And I would like to request that our county contact them and get on board with their representative. County councilor is Patrick Hoffman, who's put together some presentations on that, and I would like to see our county get on board and at least see what that's about. The 5-mile corridor scares me because from what I read, Grain Belt Express is going to be their guiding line, so to speak, and every acre I own is within that 5-mile range. And I don't know how many lines they can put in a 5-mile wide area, but I certainly don't want to be covered up with power lines. So that's just my request. I'm hoping you will consider it. Thank you.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm Harvey Durstone, out of Ford, and we never got a response on the rerouting of the line. We're against the line, but they do it, that needs to be rerouted. And we never got a reply. We wrote a letter to KCC, this was months ago, and we never got a reply. But we named Ford City in it too, and not just us, it's the properties around. And we gave them even a detailed deal that they can reroute. So I don't know who to talk to about that, but we never got an answer from KCC. I have the letter with me, but I'll not read it now.
Do you have the date of the letter, Harvey?
Yeah, it's in my brochure. See, because now they're coming out and talking surveying on our properties. And that's why they brought this to my attention. This date was, it was back in July. And Leo Hanos, the guy that got the letter,
Leo Hanos.
Hanos, Haynos. He's with the KCC.
And what was the date?
July 16th, when we wrote it.
Okay, let's just get a copy of it.
Anyway, we have the transition west from Route 400 to on Upland Road. That's where we reroute. Instead of being within a half mile of Ford City, we can be a mile south. And this is in Ford City, mentioned there too.
Can we get a copy of that letter, JD? And then can you stay around till after the meeting
Oh, yeah.
before we hard? Okay, thank you.
All right.
Is there anybody in the admin office?
It's just me.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to call your attention to
Pardon
it.
me?
Copy now, or what's that?
No, just hang on to it till after the meeting, and we'll get a copy of it.
All right.
I can get a copy. I'll bring one right now.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
All right. Anyone else?
I would like to make a comment, and I want to thank Manny and his crew for getting me downstairs so fast on Wednesday. Bill for setting up a training out of the sheriff's office. We couldn't get the election moving as good as we are.
Nice.
A lot of teamwork there.
That's right.
Stephanie, the staff has done a lot of work the last couple of months. Keeping moving rolling and moving everybody from the courthouse to the various new homes for the time being. And moving Debbie downstairs to the spot we don't have to rely on the elevators for a building, so that's great. His staff has been wonderful work.
So JD, you might give the folks here in the audience and those at home some context as to why we're going through this and why the team is having to work the way that they are here,
So we received a lump sum of ARPA funds the last couple of years to use to upgrade infrastructure for facilities. And we decided to do a HVAC project that will cover the government center, the courthouse, sheriff's office, and road and bridge. We're starting here in the government center and the courthouse. And in order to get the courthouse run a little bit faster, the plans kind of changed to move everyone from the courthouse with the staff, the working staff, will have the ability to work in there without having to work around staff. And so we've moved, how many people that is over there? 25, 30 people. Moved them, I think one of the judges is over at the sheriff's office, and everybody else is here in the government center. And they're gonna be doing work here in the government center too, and then we'll have to move some staff then too. But,
Okay, thank you.
yes, sir.
Okay, next up is legal counsel. We have a contingency fee agreement.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. For today, I have two separate contingent fee agreements related to the class action litigation that you instructed the county counselor's office to pursue, I think at our last meeting. These fee agreements, Glenn and I have looked over, and there's an agreement between the county and Sharp Law LLP, who will be kind of spearheading for the county in that litigation. There's one for Pioneer Natural Resources that deals with the shale oil antitrust violations, and the other is for ExxonMobil for the plastics as a public nuisance. So I'd ask today respectfully for you to approve these class action contingent fees and to sign off on those, and I can answer questions about those agreements if there are any.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve contingency fee agreements as presented.
I'll second that. And with the motion second, any further discussion on it? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You will present this next resolution, detailing about it.
Okay.
I'm not as familiar with that right now. I apologize.
Do we have, Kyla here?
Kyle's not here. We participated in this before, though.
Right.
Rural Opportunity Zone.
I know specifically student loan repayment.
Student loan repayment or a tax incentive. State income tax incentive.
Okay. Would she be able to come and talk to us in the future?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to table this until somebody can come talk to us about it.
I'll second that. Motion second, I'll call the vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Next item is for Missy Drake, planning zoning.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Welcome.
You should have before you resolution number 2024-37. This concerns a request for a conditional use and development plan submitted by Rancho Santa Fe LLC. For this property is located at 11200 Lariat Way in Dodge City. The applicant is seeking approval for the conditional use with a development plan that includes expanding their current sports complex to include an additional soccer field and a sports bar, small restaurant. The property currently houses a variety of amenities, including a sports complex, horse stables, kennels, rental properties, Airbnb, and a church with dormitories. The property previously held a conditional use permit for a boys' home called Bronco Buster's Boys Ranch from 1956, which was later sold to Methodist Youth Bill in 1975, and the current owners purchased the property at a tax sale in 2016. They've made significant improvements, and they've been successfully operating the soccer leagues for children and adults with a variety of activities available year-round. The Children's Soccer League has over 300 participants, while the Adult League also attracts a substantial number of players. This year, their Children's League took home third place in nationals that was televised from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The property is situated in both the city and county, but we're only dealing with what is in the county due to where my authority lies. The total acreage of the property is approximately 92 acres, with 2/3 of the land located in a floodway, which makes development challenging due to state permit requirements. After a thorough review of the Fort County Comprehensive Plan, our findings find no conflicting goals or objectives, and we have verified that between me and my assistant. I've sent out 20 certified letters, including letters to Dodge and Enterprise Township, because it lies between the two townships, and they have not applied or had any concerns. The only true call I got was from Trans Special Leasings, and they had no objections. So on September 23rd, 2024, the Fort County Zoning Board, comprising of 5 members, voted 4 in favor and none opposed, to approve the application of the conditional use and development plan for Rancho Santa Fe LLC. This recommendation is subject to the following conditions. The applicant shall meet all applicable federal, state, and local regulations. Lighting must be directed to avoid shining onto public roadways or adjacent properties. Approve as per the development plan submitted. If any private septic systems fail, the owner must hook up to the public sewer. No more development will be allowed in the floodway. And anytime the kennel is leased or there are changes in responsibility for the care and upkeep of the animals, the county and state will be promptly notified to ensure that all permitting is kept updated. And I just have been handed a letter from the Dodge City Veterinarian Clinic from Dr. Chad Kerr, and he has verified and is vouching for the people that will be running the kennel, Stephen and Lexi, saying that they've been great clients of the Dodge City Veterinarian Clinic, that they're passionate about their pets, and that he has seen their business plan and that he trusts them 100% to take care of the kennel. And he recommends them. And that's the end of my report.
Okay.
Oh, and the owners are here. And the people that are wanting to do the kennel are here.
Nice.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the conditional use permit by resolution 2024-37.
I'll second that. And with the motion second, any discussion on it?
Think I have any questions?
I'll call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
The next item is for Noxious Weed Director Ben Rhodes.
Ben,
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you.
thanks for running and getting that copy for us.
Asked you to go out for bid on a couple of zero-turn mowers. I have received 5 bids from 4 companies. All of them meet the specifications that I sent out.
Okay.
I've got Keating Tractor out of Liberal. Submitted a number of 51,000 for 2 machines. It's a Hustler 104-inch. And they say 1 to 2 weeks delivery. American Implement here in Dodge City says 52,000 for the same machine, Hustler 104. And they say 4 to 6 weeks for delivery.
Did we get copies of this as of?
I sent it to Amy, I did not send it to you.
If you sent it to him, you should have it.
I didn't have
You didn't have
anything.
anything in the.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so I thought I'd ask real quick. Just
I just have the
one.
and of course I printed it incorrectly.
Real quick. Nope.
Keating, American Implement, and Sutherland's all are bidding the same machine. It's a Hustler electronic fuel injected 104-inch deck, zero-turn riding mower, basically.
Okay.
High Plains Equipment submitted 2 different machines. One is a electronic fuel injected 96-inch deck, and the other is a diesel. Otherwise, I think those motors are very similar. So Keating's bid was 51,000 for the Hustler. American Implement was 52,000 for the Hustler. Sutherland's was 55,000 for the Hustler. High Plains Equipment was 66,398 for the gas machines and 88,798 for the diesel machines. All of the machines that were bid met my specifications.
And the top 3 there, is there any difference in the equipment whatsoever?
No,
Okay, same team, same everything.
it's exactly the same machine.
Wow. Okay, so you said Liberal Keating, they had 1 to 2 weeks they could deliver?
Right, that's what their bid says,
Okay, and then American Implement was how long?
4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6. Is that time frame issue?
No, not at all. We've done without it for a year or so.
Yeah, right.
They're replacing some Kubotas that were 60-inch decks that they just haven't been reliable for the last 2 years. So that's what I'm looking to replace. And the city has been very happy with their 104s.
Okay.
So that was the reason to head that direction.
Mhm. How many, the 104, how many blades is that underneath there?
3 blades.
3, okay.
And it's got little fold-up wings so it can be transported on a regular trailer.
Okay.
So we don't need any additional equipment to move around, it's just, but it's big.
It's nice, yeah.
I think the city has a lot more use for it than we do. They've got more computer stuff curious to see how it does on some that the crews are thinking, well, we've got a 54-inch zero turn that works fine, what do we need these for? And so they initially came and said, wow, these are really good, we need to get some of those.
Well, the power difference probably.
The speed, I mean, they're twice as fast. Their claim is 10 minutes for a football field. So it'll cover a lot of ground.
Wow.
I've got a field in front of my office, let's find out.
Yeah, maybe two. And that tends to get neglected because we take the tractor over there and then it would make a big difference at the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
And then fire, soon we'll fire as well.
The problem is the finish cut is totally different than the tractor.
Right, much nicer cut than zero turns.
So I guess probably in our decision, it comes down, obviously, all these are within budget.
Yes.
So then it comes down to, do we go local with the Dodge City one that's $1,000 more? Because they're a local company here and they pay taxes, or do you go with the low bid for 1,000 less?
Gotta spend a little time to go down there and get that too.
And we said FOB Dodge,
Okay.
so hopefully I don't have any back.
Okay.
But assuming that is, they do specify that in their bid package, so that would have been the determining factor if they have it for sure. So if I could pick it up down here, a mile from the shop, it's probably better.
Yeah. You almost wonder if you're buying from the guy that's mounted out of the shop, if the repairs are gonna be made that quick, like their response to you, versus if you bought from their guys out of town, if they would service you as quick.
They were here for the bid opening, they were.
Oh, no, but.
Yeah, we have a relation with them. We've got a couple of tractors from them, and a lot of repairs,
From Keaton?
from American Heritage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all of our repairs are service will be down there.
Mr. Chairman, I'm inclined to option for local.
Yep.
$1,000 difference. I would make a motion to approve American Implement Dodge City, 2 machines at $52,000.
And I'll second that. And with a motion second, any further discussion on it? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ben. Do you need these back?
Good job. But if you want to get rid of it, I'd be happy to take it.
Next item is the Arrowhead West letter of support. This is basically just a letter of support for them to apply for grant funds. The county would be passed through for those. We've done this before many times.
All right, I'd make a motion to approve providing the letter of support for Arrowhead West as they requested.
I would second.
Motion second, I'll go ahead and call a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, we ask that you table item number 5 until the next meeting. The representative is not here to talk about the bylaws either.
I'll make a motion to table to the next meeting.
I'll second that and call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item is for IT Director Matthew Breck.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to table this one too.
We're just due for our renewal for the county's identity theft protection and antivirus systems. The renewal will continue to go back through Dell Technologies for our CrowdStrike system and identity threat protection at the amount of $67,284.15. This is just a renewal of an existing system that has, outside of the July 17th worldwide issue, it's proven to be very, very strong within county systems.
Already budgeted, right?
This one is gonna have to come from general fund next year, it is on the budgeted items.
Okay. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the the Craft Strike renewal invoice.
I'll second that. Motion second, any further discussion? I'll call the vote, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Item number 7 is for Community Corrections Director Sonia Chapman.
Hi, Sonia. How are you?
Good, how are you? Well, we just finished the first quarter of our FY25, and these are the programs that are funded through our juvenile delinquency prevention grant. So I already provided the summary of numbers for that for the first quarter. This information was presented to our advisory board earlier this month, and I'm just seeking your approval so that I can submit it to the Kansas Department of Corrections by the end of this month when it's due.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the four reports as have been forwarded to us by the Santa Fe Trails Community Corrections Director, Sonia Chapman.
I'll second that. I'll go ahead and call the vote, all those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Commissioners, I just noticed that Joanne Knight is out of the room, and we tabled something that.
Item number 1.
Yep, item number 1 that Tyler Keller was gonna talk to us about. We could open that back up to have her share with us about that. That works.
That does work for me.
Okay.
Hi, Joanne.
Hello.
We'll go back to item number 1 here.
Apologize if I'm out of breath and ran out of a housing meeting up here, so.
Sure.
So I apologize, Kyla's off today and didn't realize she was on the agenda. Each year, we have come to you for probably the last at least 5 or 6 years to do a resolution that's required from the state for us to be a rural opportunity zone community, which basically enables us to be able to help recruit people that have, want to come to a job here that haven't lived in the county, and it helps to pay back some of their college tuition. It basically would go for 5 years. Typically, the counties have been putting money in to match it, which is a maximum of $1,500 a year, and the state matches that with $1,500. We have not asked you for funding specifically for that program, because we haven't had a whole lot of interest in it, but we wanted to keep in the system with the state on it. This year, REWA has approved to put $15,000 in, which would be the county's match of that portion for up to 10 people for the first year of that program. And so basically what we need today is to ask you to continue to approve that resolution again. We do have a couple of businesses that are have individuals identified that they're trying to recruit to come here. And again, REWA would put in the county portion of the matching funds so that we can get the state to match that and not be on the waiting list.
And Joanne, on this, like, setup, so the person would leave Fort County, go on for college, have a residency in another county, and then come back here for a career? Is that how that?
No, they could be coming in from out of state, from
Out of
another
state.
county. They just couldn't have residency here for 5 years. They did make a change in the stipulation, I apologize, last
That's
minute
okay.
here. That if it is a kid that left here and's been gone for 5 years, but he still has his parents' address because he didn't end up changing that, I think that they will allow
That
those
would
with some
count.
additional identification. But I'd have to confirm that for sure, but it really is a way to try to get professionals
Back.
that are getting the degrees that you want for your community to help you recruit them to your specific community. And we were able to qualify, like I said, 4 or 5 years ago because it used to only be for counties under 10,000 in population. And so a lot of those rural communities like Scott County, they use it
Sure.
a lot. We
Lincoln.
just got on it a little bit later because they opened it up to communities our size.
Okay. My was thinking was actually like on a recruitment of like medical, like the doctor side of it, getting those people to come back.
That's what most of them are using it
So do we have an incentive program if one of our local kids happens to go and get that kind of a degree to get them to come back?
If they've been out of the community for a while, I believe you could use it for it, but I'd have to check into that more. So,
That seems counterintuitive. Why are we extending this opportunity to somebody that's never lived here and not to kids that are leaving that we would like to have come back?
yeah.
That,
I know there's ways you can qualify to get back, I just can't tell you the details right today.
and maybe there's other programs that we can. that
Or we
can do
could
that with.
utilize,
I
I
don't
mean, we
know.
wouldn't have to use our funds. The main reason we needed to put some funds together is to match the states, because if we don't have a local incentive here, we'd have to get it from the business that's recruiting them, which, could very well be possible as well.
Sure.
But it was putting us on the waiting list because the county, we'd never asked you guys to do that, because we really felt like the businesses could do that.
And that,
And be
that's
matched
another
to the
statement
state.
I was gonna make
Yeah,
about
and
this too.
so
It's kinda
that
like-
doesn't mean we couldn't, if we don't qualify under this, look at individual, opportunities like that to have some of the students come back. And a lot of businesses do that. They'll take an internship or somebody and help them with their education if they commit to coming back for so long.
I think that's something, Joanne, that some of us would go to these conferences and things, and we see the export of our youth out of our community, and we get to understand that our most valuable export from here is our kids.
Yes.
And we've tried to come up with ideas to stem that tide, and here we are offering incentives for folks. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't offer incentives to get folks back here, but if we're doing that, we certainly ought to offer incentives to the kids that are potentially leaving.
Yeah, and that's the reason for the UT University training, try to get those kids to not even leave and have those degrees offered here, but I totally get where you're coming from, and, like I said, I haven't stayed on top of this because Kyla's been on top of it, so I apologize.
And the other thing that you mentioned there that helped me too, and the reason that I asked this to be tabled earlier was I wanted to get my head around the whole student loan repayment deal anyway, because when we were having a conversation before the meeting there about the financial burdens that folks are feeling in the community here right now, and the bottom line is these kids are taking on loans by their own decisions in order to go to school. And it's not really very fair that we as a government entity that has no other way of raising revenue but to take it from the citizens of our county to turn around and then give that money to kids that are taking on a loan. There's something that's basically immoral about that.
Well, and that's why
eyes.
most of
So-
them are on, like you said, it's more of a company that says, I want to help invest in this kid so they can
Right.
flow it through ROS to get the state match as well. And whether it's a business match or the taxing, and that's kind of the same way I felt, that's why we never asked you guys directly to put money aside
And
for
I'm
this.
glad for that clarification, because I can a little more get behind this if we have.
Yeah, no,
we wanna kick that
the
in.
Rural Education Workforce Alliance Board
Yeah.
has approved to go ahead and set that
Okay.
15,000 for next year to see how it goes, if we can get those connections going. And if we have a business that, I mean, in my opinion, it's someone's business's responsibility to come back up, but since we didn't have it designated as the county or REWA doing it, then the state just puts those guys on a waiting list because they don't have a county that's
Okay.
has the funds set aside to do it. So, we just need to get that tagged so we're back up there competitive with the other communities that are.
If we can get more of a breakdown on maybe what industry gets this,
Okay.
whether that's engineering or if they're after accounting or if they're after, I don't know, was trying to think of like doctorates.
Yeah, there's a lot of follow-up that has to do with that, and I know they originally had sent, I think, some stuff to Debbie on it, but we're trying to get them to go through Kyla because there is a lot of paperwork that has to be filled out in tracking this person and where their career path is and whether they're still out there. And so that way we're not putting the burden of paperwork on you either, so.
Sure.
But at this point, we really just need the resolution approved, so that,
to get the
which
funding.
you've done the last several years, so just are trying to be a little bit more aggressive in it with our own,
Okay.
so.
Well, thank you for the clarification. I think I
You're welcome.
feel better about this thing.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All right, so in front of us is a motion to adopt resolution, and this is 2024-38, authorizing the participation in the Rural Opportunity Zone, which is a student loan repayment program. We tabled it just a little bit ago, now we've had the discussion. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve adopting the resolution.
I would second, Mr. Chairman, and I'd have one more question for Joanna if I can. Is student loan repayment, that's not the only part of the Rural Opportunity Zone?
No, there's
tax?
an income tax credit for those individuals as well.
Okay. Is that all separate from the rural housing stuff then?
Oh, yeah, this
That's
is totally
completely
different
Okay.
department.
I didn't know how much this encompassed, so
Yeah.
this is really just for getting workforce back into our rural areas.
Right, and really an attempt for the state to get people to stay here that are getting educated in other areas to come back, as well as recruiting people in from outside of the state.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, with a motion second, I'll go ahead and call a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Mr. Chairman, before we hit the upcoming meetings, the sheriff wanted, this is opportunity at Lincoln Public Comment to give you an update on the Union Oil intersection. You want to do that now?
Yeah.
If that's up to you.
No, that's cool.
No, you missed your opportunity.
I'm full aware of that.
I'll turn it right to you.
Good. So I just wanted you all to be aware, with the Beauty Oil, met with Nick Hernandez and some of the city staff officials, directing correspondence back and forth with KDOT, reference the intersection over there. Obviously, we've asked for quite a few improvements, temporary, knowing that that's in a study phase for future projects. So but for temporary, we were asking for quite a bit, which we think still warranted. However, KDOT did reply, it's been done so far, they completed. So there's no passing on the right now, either east or westbound. Those are all specific to right turn lanes only. So they've got signage up, and they sent out a social media post on their site, so educating the public, and my office has been educating a lot of the public the last few days, so we've been getting beat up, obviously, and enforcement's a big part of it, so yes, we have been enforcing it a lot since last Thursday evening, I believe, Friday, most all day, throughout the weekend, so we're finding out that there's a lot of people that were passing on the right, so we are working on that. We did met with city administrator and some others last week after they responded that they were going to make these changes. We replied back in hopes that we could get some additional signage, lighting, some other what we consider minimal changes, even offered to pay for them and do the work ourselves. So we're kind of still waiting on a response from that, but we are in hopes that this will slow down some of the speeds and crashes.
Was a decrease in the speed through there part of?
We asked for it.
No response to that
Did not
yet,
get
or?
that.
Okay.
So we were asking for reduced speeds, whether, you know, it was all over the board from 45 to 55. Just, we were asking for something. We were asking for a warning beacon to be put at an intersection, you know, a yellow flashing light maybe.
rumble strips,
Yeah.
larger stop signs.
Yeah. We've asked for quite a bit, but it was minimal expense-wise to do what we were asking for. And it is a start. I don't think, they're communicating with us, so I think that's good. We'll see where this goes. I think the public needs to know that there are changes out there currently, so we are gonna be enforcing them. Hopefully we won't have any more fatalities, so.
Is there anything we could put on maybe our Fort County site, like our front page, maybe just to address that?
We've got the press release from KDOT.
Yeah.
We'll probably share some of that as well, so.
I mean, even if your officers are out there and they have updated photos of turn lanes, or, I know that this is now a right turn lane, not a passing lane. Yeah, that's a big, safety issue.
But, like I said, you gotta be aware of it, in case you get questions, or, we have a dialogue on KDOT, so hopefully it continues.
Good.
Okay?
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, the upcoming meetings, we have the CEDVR, the 2024 Regional Outlook Conference, that will be this Friday, October 25th, at United Wireless Arena, from 10:30 to 2. I believe the three of us are registered to go, I believe. We have the State of the City Address and Luncheon, that will be Tuesday, October 29th, at the Blue Hill Casino and Resort Conference Center. That will be from 11:30 a.m. to 1. We have the Kansas Association of Counties Annual Conference, December 3rd through 5th, at the Hyatt Regency in Wichita. And we have the KCM Annual Conference, that will be December 4th through 6th, at the Embassy Suites in Olathe. And we have general election dates. I'll turn it over to County Clerk David Cox.
We are now voting, we have moved the voting down to the lobby conference room. Hours this week are 9 to 4:30. Next week on Tuesday, we will be voting until 7 in the evening, and Thursday until 7 in the evening. We will have Saturday voting on November the 2nd from 10 to 2. The last day to request a ballot by mail is the 29th. And the in-office voting ends at noon on the 4th, and election day is the 5th.
That's all we have for the admin report, Mr. Chairman.
Make the motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
All right, and I will second that, and I'll call the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I said, I just used to do it.